I did not turn the camera on because it is not um, the best setup I have over here, and the lighting is not great. So, for that reason, I'm just gonna spare you guys. Just gonna spare you guys. Um, Red Pill Sleeper Cell, what's up? I see that you are no longer in the building, but oh, there you are. I will check it shortly. Um, I wanted to do a quick live stream where I get to run my mouth and I will take some questions from folks that might have some for me. Because you know what I realized? As human beings, I think we do a lot of projecting simply because we refuse to ask the pertinent questions. And sometimes it's just as simple as I want to know something, so I'm coming to you and asking versus, well, you did this, so it must mean that. And I'm assuming X, Y, and Z. Assumptions never work in our favor. And so I wish people would stop doing that. I wish people would just, because I'm a very direct person. And like, even if you ask me something that I don't want to answer, I can simply say, I don't feel comfortable talking to you about that. But for the most part, if there's something that you have a question about, please ask me. I'd much rather you ask me than to assume and then have this whole idea of something that I have no idea about and doesn't make sense to me, and then come to find out later on down the line because it comes out in some other way, because things always come out. Um, if it comes out in some other way, you know, now you realize all the time you wasted or all the emotions that you had that weren't even necessary. And so I'm a big fan of folks just coming out and asking those necessary questions. Sorry, you hear me filing my nails right now because if there's one thing I can't stand is when I get my nail snagged on something and it's uneven. And so I have to fix it right away. And right now, we are in the rebuilding stage because I had to cut all my nails off when I came back to Jersey. Not just because of that, but just because I was moving stuff and resituating and organizing and breaking down and getting rid of. So my nails really couldn't withstand all of that. Yes, mom. What do you need? And so, you know, just having all that stuff going on, it's like, let me just go ahead and start over. Since I'm starting over in so many other aspects, might as well do that with my nails too, right? So yeah, now I'm just going through and cleaning up all the other ones because why not? But it is pretty hot here in New Jersey. I guess we're having our first heat wave of the summer, which I'm not mad at because coming from Texas, I was really loving the hot weather there. So I really do enjoy. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Lewis. I just read your email. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, if I had known that, I would have been coming to that one. Maybe not. I'm not gonna lie to you. I tend not to go to the hood very often. But I will hit you up. I will certainly hit you up because that probably is a good thing to know, and she might need to know that. So really appreciate you sending me that message and offering. Super appreciative of that. I've been doing quite a bit of dot connecting since I've been home. It's only been 2 weeks, but in the little bit of time I've been home, I feel like I've made some really good ground. Um, and so I will continue along on that. Uh, Additionally, I wanted to come up here and talk to you guys because my day started off in a normal way, whatever. Woke up, got dressed, went outside to greet the day and do some things. Actually was on my way to do some light food shopping and stopped at Krauser's. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this story already. You've heard me tell it already. So I apologize for the redundancy. But for those of you who follow me on for on YouTube only, this will be your first time hearing it. So I normally go. There's a Krausers nearby that I like to go to, and I've been going to it since I was probably in high school, to be honest with you. Um, and I usually just go in there for something quick, like a Snapple or a lottery ticket or a cigarillo. Like that's the only those are pretty much the only reasons I go into Krausers. And or to get a Charleston chew because they have the milk chocolate Charleston chews. I will eat the dark chocolate ones, but um I like the milk chocolate ones better. And um the one on Broad Street, the one on Broad Street. Uh I go to Brookdale ShopRite all the time because yes, the one in Bloomfield, yes, because I prefer to shop where I know that um I'm not going to be harassed on my way in or out. I'll just leave it there. What's up, Maggie? Good to see you. I hope you are well. It is a good afternoon. It is a great day. And that's actually what I was saying when I was in Crowders. I was talking to the people that were in there as well as the clerk. And I was saying, it's a great day to be alive, which is something that one of my old coaches used to say. He used to say that at practice every day. Coach Baxter. Shout out to Coach Baxter. Um, Great day to be alive, he would say. And so I kind of that stayed with me all these years. And I like to say that too. When we greet the day and it's a sunny day and something about the day is just making you feel good. Um, I like to pass that on. And so I was passing it on like I normally do when I go out and about and I'm talking to strangers. That's something that like some of my friends don't necessarily like about me, but it's something that I do a lot. And I don't think it's ever going to change because I just really like to talk to strangers and reinforce the fact that we are all human and likely put our pants on in the same way. So I don't feel any kind of way. And I told this story before, but I'm likely to meet a stranger and help them in some kind of way if I can. I did this one time when I was out with a best friend and she did not like that so much. What's up, Mr. Shug, to you? And I will give you a call probably this evening. And if you can't answer, whatever, I'll leave a message, but you can always call me back. What's up, Pragmatic Prime? Shout out to the newlywed, because you're still a newlywed, right? Like I think for the whole first year, you're a newlywed, right? So shout out to Pragmatic Prime. Um, but yeah, I forgot where I was. I'll be trying to keep my wits about me while I'm reading you guys as you come in, because I don't want you to feel like I didn't see you say hello. But yeah, I will give you a call and headed to the airport. Work trips are good. Work trips are good. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something good to eat while you're out there too. I loved El Torito in the Bay Area, and I know that that's not like a pop in Mexican spot, so to speak, but that was some place that I used to enjoy going with my grandmother when she lived out there. And then now that I've been Texasified, I don't know. That's not a word, but I'm calling it that just because it's like okay, for all its good and bad, there was some good parts of Texas that will probably live on with me, which is that I had really good tacos, and I almost am like refusing to eat them here because they're nothing like that here. But I digress. That's not why I'm here. That is not why we're doing this. Did I send it to my Yahoo? Because I hate how my email takes forever to come through on Yahoo for some reason. Like I can send myself a message from my Gmail to my Yahoo and I will get other emails in the meantime, but for some reason when I send them, I should have sent it to Outlook. So annoying. Because I wanted to share with you a little bit of my live stream that was on Instagram today, and I want to pull it up here. Oh, he said El Torito had a spot next to the SFO. We used to have work functions there. Oh, okay, yeah. So you could see blah, blah, blah. You could see that I haven't been there in a while because I didn't even know they closed down. But of course they did because nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Ain't nothing new under the sun though. Ain't that right? Good afternoon, third. Good to see you. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that. Yes, like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the like button. I think I don't do a good enough job of asking y'all to hit the like button. I really don't. I don't ask for much because I just don't even feel like I'm that level of a content creator. So um I'd be like, you know what? Like it if you like it. Don't if you don't. Okay. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, here is my Insta. And I titled the live I Love My Life simply because I was just talking about how, you know, benevolent people can be. In specifics, black men, I have had the luxury of being um uh-oh, I just saw something that I really didn't want to see. You ever get a like on Instagram or something like that? Um, that from somebody that you're like, I really wish you didn't follow me anymore. Because like you don't follow them, so they're out of sight, out of mind for you, but this person still follows you. And every now and then people will like something and that'll let you know that they're still following you. And it's like, dang, you don't got nothing else to do. Because it's not even like they necessarily did anything to me, but because I know they did something to somebody that I care about, I'm over here holding a grudge. That's really immature, but I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I saw that and I was like, ugh, why'd you like that? But anyway, yeah, I post to my stories more than anything. And I haven't really been doing that because I've just been focusing on getting back on my feet and just taking care of business in Jersey. And it has not been easy. It has not, especially, like there is something to be said for when you have built some semblance of a life for yourself and then that gets uprooted or disrupted. You I think I'm pretty good at adapting to changes, but my body, every time my body will be like, nope, nope. And my body said nope today. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna give y'all the gory details, but my body definitely was on some nope shit today. And so my mood is not the best that it could be. Um what's up, OX Hermes, Hermes, en français. But yeah, so anyway, I'm at the Krausers. I'm talking my ear. I'm talking to these people and wishing them a good day and all that good stuff. This guy walks in and he's like, um, "Don't do that again." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm looking at him like, "What is he mean?" He's like, don't be coming in here and leaving your car on." And I was like, "Okay." I mean, he was right. Don't get me wrong. Um, but I do it all the time. And what I was saying on my live that you see playing in the background here was that I know that that's a risk that I'm taking, but I'm measuring it based on the fact that I'm only going to be in and out, and I usually park directly in front of the door, so I could see if somebody, they have cameras, so I feel secure in the fact that if even somebody felt like they were bold enough to jump in my car and take it, we would see who did it, and it would be something else from there. But I don't want that to happen in the first place. So how do I prevent it? Cut it off, lock it, go inside, come back out 2 minutes later and cut it back on. So yeah, I'm going to do that. But anyway, I appreciated him saying that to me, and I was like, you know what? All I need is one time. I don't need nobody to tell me that again. And then when we walked back outside, because he was like, he was talking to me, but he was like, let's continue this as we walk out. So we walked back outside, and he's like, what do you do for a living? So I told him nothing right now. I'm looking for work. And he's like, oh, well, I know some people that might be able to help you. Um, Give me your contact information and we'll link these things up. I didn't realize it at the time I was talking to him, but when he walked over to his car, I saw he had fireman plates. And so I was like, oh, okay, so he must be um, or must have been a fireman. I only got his first name. I did not get his last name because that could be a tricky thing too. Because when you get people's last name, then you start making connections. Oh, you must know this person. Oh, you must know so and so. I didn't even go into that with him because I'm sure we probably know some people in common. He lives in Bloomfield, so that's like we're practically neighbors. Um, and so anyway, um, shout out to Artist and MC and Sister George. They popped in on my live and said some really pertinent things. But yeah, if you want to go see what I talked about, go ahead and hit the follow button on Instagram. You see my name there. You can type it in. It's Latoya Lee. It's nothing crazy. It used to be Jersey Lioness because that is my moniker that I tend to use on social media. But I've kind of walked away from that recently because it's been my moniker on social media since I was in college, and that was 20 years ago. So let's go ahead and move on from that. Um, so yeah, I know it says login, sign up, but we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But yeah, so he was like, "Why is your car dirty?" And I was like, "Ooh, I was embarrassed." But one thing about me is, even if I'm embarrassed in the moment or if I'm nervous or whatever, I will still try to sit in the moment. I will not try to flee the moment. I will not try to minimize the moment. I might try to make light of it, but even when he said that and I was embarrassed for a second, I was like, look, it just drove through like 5 different states. I'm just fresh off of a road trip back here from Texas. That's why it's dirty. It's got like 5 states worth of dirt on it. And I didn't say this part, but my my priority right now is not that because I would like to become solvent again, and I am not at the moment. And so, you know, whatever little bit of coins I do have, I'm using them on things to at least stretch my resources. And that's actually what I was going to go do when I went to the supermarket today. Because there's, when that's what I was saying. When you're used to living by yourself and you're used to shopping by yourself and you're used to buying the things that you like to eat, you don't really take into consideration other people. And some of this adjustment of being back home has been, listen, you're living back with your mom and your grandmother now. And so when you cook, you have to think about how they like things and not just cook things according to how you like to eat them. And even with doing that, um, I haven't necessarily satisfied my hunger for things that I would normally eat because I'm not able to go and purchase them. So that was why I was at ShopRite today going to get those things. Um, and so yeah, I just thought it was nice getting back to outside of Krauser's and talking to this guy. He was going to give me a voucher for getting a free car wash, but he didn't have it. And instead, he just drove me through the car wash. He's like, follow me across the street. I'll pay for your car wash. And he did. And we chit chatted for a few minutes after that. And I gave him my contact information. So hopefully, I'll hear back from him and we'll be able to, um, it'll lead to something because I think now I'm kind of at the point where the connections I make are going to be like that. They're going to be, you know, chance encounters or through people who know people I know and things like that. And that's okay. I never used to like that, but I realize its importance now. And, life is all about growth and understanding. And, I'm over here just trying to make sense of everything that is happening, even if I don't like it. Yeah, word up. Shout out to Krausers. Krauser's been holding me down since middle school, whether it was going to go get a butter roll in the morning. I didn't necessarily go to Krauser's for my bagel sandwiches. Um, there was a store next door to the Krausers in Montclair that I would always go get my breakfast bagels from. And even at lunchtime, sometimes we would walk up there and get them. That is like my go to. And it has always been, even to this day, if I want something like that, I will still go there to get it. I don't eat bagels as much as I used to anymore. But yeah, shout out to Krausers for always holding it down for the convenience stores. And if you know, some of them are spelled without the Z. You know. Um, Enjoy your freedom and time away from the daily grind. Easier said than done. Exactly. Especially me, because I'm like, I will find some work to do. I will find something to make me feel productive for sure. And so it's been difficult for that reason alone, because it's like I don't have stuff and I want stuff. So I had yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? Either way, you guys saw me. I was at the food pantry. That was fun. I'm planning on doing that again next week. Um, but even here at my mom's house, I decided to deconstruct her spice cabinet and get rid of everything that was expired, because we all do that. We all buy spices, put them up in the cabinet, and then use them, and then maybe not use them, and then forget about them, and then before you know it, it's a couple years have gone by, and whatever that was, it's not anymore. It's now a figment of what it was when you bought it, because it's been up there for too long. So I took it upon myself to take all that stuff down and compile a short spreadsheet of what I threw away that was expired, what the brand name was, and all that good stuff. So, and that was not something that she asked me to do. It was just something that I felt necessary to be done, but also like would be helpful in creating more space and organization. And we all know that when you have a more organized space, it helps you to think clearer and perform better. And so that was the motivation for it. I want to be the best me going into this next fresh start in life. And if I can do that by mitigating whatever is around me that may be in flux, I will. And like Maggie said, she knows. Shout out to Maggie. Shout out to Maggie Thompson under the veil. If you're not following her, but go ahead and take this moment to click away from this live stream and click on her name and go hit the subscribe button over there. She's doing great work, despite what some of the detractors may say. She's doing great work. I'm vouching for her. I am not responsible for her being here. And it doesn't matter who's responsible for her being here. She's responsible for bringing herself back every time. And I want to give her a shout out for that, especially in the face of people who are committed to misunderstanding her purpose. Anyway, she says purging, organizing, and cleaning setup, good energy for a fresh start. And that is exactly it. That is exactly it. It's hard to come into someone else's space and do that because, I think most people are used to being alone, or in a way that they have the ability to make these changes without scrutiny. But the point still remains, regardless of where you are and whose name is on the deed and who's paying the bills, it is a good thing to have um, a clean, organized space for anything to start your day. That's why it's like good to make up your bed every day, because when you come back, you want to get into it because now it's neat and it's waiting for you and the sheets are cold. I don't know about you, but I love me a cold sheet. I love getting into the bed with a cold sheet. That is my thing right there. Let me refresh this page because I would like to show y'all this video before I get started in that. I appreciate you too, Maggie. And if anybody can hear this right now, whether you're watching it live or you are a part of the replay gang, I am going on the record to say that I really appreciate Maggie Thompson. I appreciate her for not only what she has brought to the space, but just for her being a genuine person that I can vouch for, because she and I have taken this offline. And so I'm very appreciative of anybody who shows me who they really are and turn out to really be that. because you don't have to. We're just in a place in life and time where that kind of stuff is kind of not even a thing. And so anytime I meet someone who leads with integrity and it shows, I'm always going to give them that big up because I'm appreciative of that. It's not just about your intentions, it's about your work, you know? Shout out to 18th letter. I see you in the building. I was just thinking about you too. I was wondering how you've been holding up. Been a minute. The last time you and I spoke, I was in Texas still. So back in Jersey, back on the East Coast. Update, update. So yeah, I wanted to go ahead and remind you all that Black men are elite. I also want to remind you all that the next time, you know, you see a Black man, smile at that Black man. Cost you nothing to do that. And I'll be honest with you, I think that the man that I met today that was so kind to me, I think he was only doing that because I did smile at him, to be honest with you. I really do. I think that that's what he felt motivated to be so kind to me about. The man really did. He sat there and talked to me about how he could put me in touch with somebody so I could find work. He also talked about housing that's getting ready to open in my hometown. He's like, look, I'm not trying to talk into your finances, but it's low income housing that they're opening up 8 units for in this new building. And, you want to get in on it. Now's the time. The applications are opening next week. And, these are things that he had no incentive to tell me, but I think he felt like doing it because of the fact that I was, willing to talk to strangers and wishing him to have a great day, genuinely. And I smiled, you know. But also, I came out of the house looking like I cared about myself, even if my car was dirty. So yeah, I just want to give that reminder that, yet another reason why I can attest to Black men being elite and you know, benefiting from that stature. Now, the real reason I came oh, hold on, we got a cash app. Thank you so much. 18th letter. I have something for you just to say thank you. Sorry if it's too early, but thank you nonetheless. Thank you so, 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 so much. I really appreciate it because your girl is out here fighting for her life. So I appreciate any cash apps that folks want to send me. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to get into, hold on, Mr. Shook to you says, question, should you shower first thing in the morning or right before bed? For the record, I'm a twice a day type of guy. Here's the thing. There's multiple ways to answer that question. Um, I think in the summertime, twice a day is non-negotiable. In my opinion, twice a day is standard for summer because if it's hot, you're sweating. And if you're sweating, you stink. But in the wintertime, you could do either or. And I'm saying that as someone who doesn't really sweat much unless she's working out. And in that case, it's like, all right, well, if that's, if you're a sweater, then I think you should know you should shower before and after. But um, I prefer to do it right before bed because I like getting into a clean bed, being clean. Um, and if I wake up in the morning and I haven't sweat through the night, then I don't feel the need necessarily in the wintertime. But in the summertime, it's a non-negotiable because you're about to step out into some hot air. And so I want to be my freshest. And then at night, obviously it feels better to get into a bed after you've washed. And so that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. But I'm welcoming your questions if you have any. Um, while I'm discussing the topic that I really came here to discuss with you guys. I know that I said this is a mishmash of thoughts and some question answering. So again, if you have some questions, please go ahead and ask me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that here on a banner. And the only reason that I'm not cammed up, you guys, is because the lighting is not so great where I'm at, and I didn't take the time to set that up before I did this live. I just kind of came to you, so we'll go back to that. um, yeah. So anyway, exactly. I can't get in the bed with outside on me. Exactly. I mean, I can, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've never done it because I have. There's sometimes you're just like you're too tired to even stand up in the shower. So I get that, but I just don't make a habit of it. That's not my rule. That's the exception. Definitely not my rule. It's nothing like getting out of a shower and getting into a clean bed. Nothing better, especially when you have a very comfortable bed. Like, oof, there's nothing better than that. So anyway, let's go ahead to this video that I saw over on Real Yanni's. And shout out to Mr. Z, because I wouldn't know who Real Talk with Yanni was if it wasn't for Mr. Z. So shout out to Mr. Z for putting me on to her. And I follow her on Instagram because she does. I don't really watch her on YouTube. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't. But I find her Instagram to be informative because she posts a lot of stuff from all over social media that maybe you wouldn't see if you didn't follow her. At least I will speak for myself and say I probably wouldn't have seen this if I didn't follow her here because I don't tend to follow like I don't follow like the shade rooms, the whatever, like media takeout, I don't know, any of those popular sites that people post and repost all day. I don't feel the need to follow because if it was that important, I'd see it because one of y'all would repost it, you know? So I don't really feel the need to follow something that I get updates on whether I ask for it or not. But I digress. Let's get into this short clip. Let me take it off of mute first. Look at her face. Oneswa and Bola about if content has been stolen from one by the other. Drama between creators Nara Smith and, or is it Nara? Nara Smith and Oneswa and Bola about if content has been stolen from one by the other. Now, I'm gonna let you watch it before I even talk about what I think, but I thought it was interesting.
Baby, this is some tea. So this creator right here is Onezwa. I don't want to mess up her name. I'm so sorry. She's from South Africa. It's Onezwa. And she is alleging that Nara Smith is stealing her recipes and recreating them as her own. Yeah. Now, the most recent alleged stolen recipe is the Bomba tea recipe. Now, I got the videos from both of them, and I'm just going to play them side by side. All right, these are the two Bomba tea videos. Now, Nara Smith is short, quick, to the point, and Onezwa is very, thorough with her recipes. Onezwa said that she stopped posting on TikTok because of Nara Smith allegedly stealing her videos. And she went to her YouTube channel and she said after she stopped posting on TikTok, Nara Smith went to YouTube and started taking her YouTube videos and recreating her recipes. And she makes them short enough to the point where she can't really say, oh, I'm taking your recipes. On top of that, she made it very clear that in South Africa, they don't make money off of their recipes at all. They don't get paid in South Africa for views. Nara Smith makes thousands of dollars off of her recipes, allegedly. People are now bullying her, saying, oh, she's stealing from Nara Smith. And that is not the case because she said she doesn't follow Nara Smith at all, but Nara Smith does follow her. And I've got screenshots of that baby as well. She said now she is being bullied because she's stating that Nara Smith is taking her videos and her recipes. Now, this is evidence that Nara Smith does see her content and she does follow her. And allegedly, she's inspiring. Here's another video where Nara said, I've never seen her videos, nor do I follow her. I'm not the first person or the last person to make Bomba tea. But baby, if that was the case, then what is this? What is this, Nara? Because make it make sense. Somebody not telling the truth, sweetheart. Now, we all know Nara Smith has become the name brand trad wife of it all. But baby, if you are taking your content or your inspiration or whatever from a lady that lives in South Africa, from a woman that does not even get paid for her views, she only get paid from brand deals, then baby, you wrong. You wrong. And if this lady is like making this up, if Wanza is making this up, I hope she's not, because it's going to mess up her reputation. But people, tell me what y'all think. Is Nara Smith a fake, or is she just taking inspiration from other people? All right, I thought I was done, but some more information popped up and I wanted to share. I found this on another creator's page. It says, do you guys remember how people were up in arms saying Wanzawa copied Nara's mozzarella cheese recipe video? Anzawa posted the video a day before Nara did. Well, Anzawa made boba tea from scratch 2 days before Nara did, and that is true. And then the girl below said, Nara posted a mozzarella video on the February the 10th, and Wanzawa posted hers on the 16th, so how can Nara be copying? And then the other girl comes back and said, Anzawa posted the video first on the 9th of February. Then she posted the video again, like her mozzarella cheese recipe, a few days later on the 16th. Baby, something is not adding up. 2 plus 2 is not equaling 4. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that up because I'm going to refer back to it later. Again, I want to give a shout out to the 18th letter for the Cash App. And in case you want to Cash App me, there's my Cash App, and it is also in the chat. So, to answer your question, Mel Logic, it is actually boba tea. She was mispronouncing it, so I'm not going to charge you with misspelling it there, because she did say bomba. There's no M in that word. It is boba tea. And yes, it may be referred to pearl milk tea or bubble tea, but it's all made from tapioca, which is what gives it that bubble, and that makes it look like pearls or balls. But it comes in a variety of flavors. And yes, it was originated in Taiwan, um, China, and it's really wherever you have East Asian diaspora, you will find them. But it's also become so popular that you can pretty much find them anywhere now that you can buy tea or coffee. It's kind of become that popular that you have to kind of have it available on your menu. Doesn't mean that they're the same as what you would get in um, a traditional sense, because like we know, Americans love to bastardize things. And so, whatever we are getting over here is probably not really comparable to what you would get in Taiwan specifically. Like I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, and it says here, in Taiwan, bubble tea has become not just a beverage, but an enduring icon of the culture and food history of the nation. And in 2020, it was officially declared that April 30th would be National Bubble Tea Day in Taiwan. And so, yeah, it's become pretty much synonymous with Taiwan. And even though, there's a Japanese version of it, there's a United States version of it, there's an Australian version of it, lots of people are getting in on it because of its popularity. And if you're like me, I actually like a milky tea. I like creamy things in general. And I also like tapioca. I used to love tapioca pudding when I was a little girl. I don't eat it much anymore, but if you're a texture person, it could either go one way or the other. It could be something that you enjoy, but it could also be something that you're like, I don't like the way that feels in my mouth, so I got to stay away from it. You don't even get to the taste of it because of that. So, that's a thing to take into consideration. But I thought this story was interesting because I love Nara Smith. I follow her and don't find her content to be problematic in any way, shape, or form. So when this came out, it did give me pause, but it didn't give me pause in so much of a way that I believed it. It gave me pause because it made me think about how, as Black women, we are so competitive with one another before we are complementary. It's like the competition has to come first before we can complement. And I get sad about that because um and that's a really great point, Mel. Thank you for saying that. He says exactly. So these two ladies aren't the originators of this tea. And that's why I wanted to go into a little bit about where it comes from. Because no, they are not the originators of the tea. They are not the originators of tapioca, but just like with anything else, if we can find the ingredients someplace, then we can probably recreate them ourselves. And I'm guilty of that. Whenever I go to a restaurant and I try something and I really like it, I want to come home and try to recreate it. And there may be an element of what I tried that I don't necessarily love, but because I liked so much of it, I can tweak it to something that I do like. And that's kind of what the joy of cooking is for me. It's such a creative outlet. I'm a creative person, and eating is something we have to do. And so, what gives me joy is killing the stone of this is practical because I need to eat, but also I can get my creativity on because I can make it in a way that I like. I can make it colorful. I can make a variety of flavors based off of the same thing. And so, yeah, to your point, Mel, the two ladies are not the originators. Nara Smith is not doing anything new by creating food and putting it online to have us watch and consume as content. The other lady who is doing the same thing, I'm sure there's probably something that she made that Nara was like, "Oh, I did that 2 years ago," but Nara's not on a crusade to say that she's the first person to do any of the things that she does, whatever she makes. And I think it's quite remarkable that this young lady is a mother of three children and a wife and still finds time to, in addition to her modeling career, make everything that her family eats from scratch. I think that's commendable. Yeah, it's trad wife. It's giving trad wife, and everybody's not meant to be one. However, are we gonna really are we really this mad at her that we're gonna start poking holes in her originality or creativity? That's what really made me mad about it. It's like, are you really sitting here comparing when these two people came out with this content to see who did it first and who because naturally, if I did it first and you did it after me, you must have seen me do it and you must be copying me. I'm just not that important. Like, I know I'm not that important. I am not on people's minds to that degree that it's like, I just want to do something and take away from your. And that's another thing, too. It's like this video, even though it got traction and there's people talking about it for a day or two, Nara hasn't posted anything in the past week, I think, probably because she's trying to duck the smoke for whatever reason, and I don't blame her because she doesn't seem like a confrontational person in the first place. She seems like she's peaceful. She's out here just making homemade Cheez-Its and boba balls for her boba tea and blood orange sorbet. She's out here making these things from scratch because she enjoys food just like the rest of us do. But instead of her relying on things that are processed or going to buy a store version of something that tastes better when it's made from scratch anyway, she's doing the work. She's saying, I'm going to go source the materials that make it necessary or make it possible for me to make this dish. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to share with you how I do it step by step with my bare hands. She's using a KitchenAid. Yes, she's using um, different utensils and things to make these things come together, but she's using her bare hands to do it with, and she's showing us step by step that that's what she's doing. I give her props for that. Like I said, in addition to being a wife and a mother of three children, she makes it look easy. Why? Because she clearly gets joy from doing it. I don't see how you could be mad at that, you know?
The point where she can't really like say, oh, I'm taking your recipes. On top of that, she made it very clear that in South Africa, they don't make money off of their recipes at all. They don't get paid in South Africa for views. Nara Smith makes thousands of dollars off of her recipes.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? So now you're going to blame someone else for having success with something that someone else did not have success with. So now Nara Smith is to blame for the laws in South Africa that prohibit people from making money off of live streams. That's Nara Smith's problem. Cool. Because she lives in a country where she can do that. So now because you don't, she should pay for that. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And the fact that we're talking about two Black women, and yes, Nara Smith is mixed, so some people might bristle at me calling her a Black woman, but uh, I'm not taking away from the fact that she's clearly a Black woman. You can look at her and see that. And you can look at her kids, even though her husband's white, them kids are Black. You can look at them and tell. So regardless, to me, this is another case where Black women are deciding, I want what you have and I'm mad that you have it, so I'm going to poke holes in your situation. Rather than be complimentary, I'm going to be competitive in a place that I simply do not compete.
Allegedly, people are now bullying her, saying, oh, she's stealing from Nara Smith. And that is not the case, because she said she doesn't follow Nara Smith at all, but Nara Smith does follow her. And I've got screenshots of that baby as well. She said now she is being bullied because she's stating that Nara Smith is taking her videos and her recipes.
Okay, so if you're bold enough to say that someone's stealing your content, then you must deal with the consequences of what comes along with that, because Nara Smith has millions of followers. So naturally, those millions of followers who enjoy her content and come back for more want to keep seeing it. And they are going to have feelings about somebody trying to say that her content isn't original or creative. She comes to us with the same cadence every time. She's got a formula and it works. How can you be mad at that? My thing is, what's meant for you is always going to be for you. And I wish more people understood that. I wish more people operated from the standpoint of, if it's not meant for you, no matter how much you covet it, you will never have it because it wasn't meant for you. But wouldn't your energy be better served going after that which is meant for you, that which does align, that which you don't have to fight tooth and nail for or be competitive with another person that looks like you? I mean, these are just things that I think about. Yeah, have I ever been envious of something or someone? Absolutely. But life has taught me that it doesn't serve me to waste my emotions in that way. I'm a very passionate person. So if my passion is going towards you and what you're doing that I want that I'm not getting, how is that helping me? How is that making me a better person? How is that giving me a leg up? It isn't. It's just keeping me in a place where I'm going to grow resentful and keeping me away from that which does allow me to showcase who I am, my uniqueness, what I have to offer.
Now, this is evidence that Nara Smith does see her content and she does follow her.
Which is not an issue. I'm so sorry you have to deal with these comments on your content. It's so inspiring. Okay, so Nara is acknowledging her presence. To me, that seems like a girl's girl. That doesn't seem like someone who's being malicious. That doesn't seem like someone who is trying to get another content creator bullied, because I think if you are any semblance of a content creator, then you don't want to be on the other end of that. So you wouldn't encourage anybody to do that to someone else. Now, are there people who do that? I'm not an idiot. Of course there are. Yes, there are people who live for nothing other than to bring another content creator down. That topic is going all around YouTube right now because somebody in the space sent an email to somebody about some other people. And it's like, well, on the one hand, you could say, well, you shouldn't have pissed them off. But then on the other hand, you could say, why do they have enough time on their hands to complain about me? Shouldn't they be living their lives? And that's a matter for discussion, I guess. But I'm also like in terms of screenshotting people's comments and stuff. Have I done that before? Yes. Am I proud of it? No. You want to know why? Because it's a waste of my energy. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. It's not something that I made a habit of when I did do it. But in the case that I did it, it was simply because of the fact that someone's behavior was egregious, and I wanted to show someone else how it was egregious. Because if you don't have, that's the thing about screenshots, they're proof, right? But then I had to come to a point where I realized if I need to prove it to you, you're not my people. And respectfully, you can go. And it's all right. I don't have time. I'm at a point in my life now, like I don't have time to have to prove every little thing to you. If who I am and what I've shown you is not enough for you to take me at my word, good day. What's up, McDrama Bear? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well. But like it says here on the screen, if you have a question, please go ahead and ask it. If you have a Cash App that you want to send me, you can go ahead and send it. The link is in the chat. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Excuse me. I made myself some lettuce wraps today for lunch. I had a late lunch. I made some egg salad yesterday, so I put them in a lettuce wrap today, and it was really tasty. I kind of wanted to eat it on a piece of toast, but I felt like the lettuce wrap was better just given how my day has been going. So I'm glad I made that decision.
And allegedly, she's inspiring. Here's another video where Nara said, I've never seen her videos, nor do I follow her. I'm not the first person or the last person to make Bomba tea.
Now, see how the word says BOBA? Well, maybe you can't see it because it may not be big enough for you to see. But the word is boba tea. This woman she's convinced that there's an M in there for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, you can leave comments on folks' posts and not follow them. So I'm gonna poke a hole right in that. She's trying to make the comparison that, well, she says here, I've never seen her videos, nor do I follow her. That's those two things could very well be true, even if she left the previous comment. So what are we saying here?
But baby, if that was the case, then what is this? What is this, Nara?
I can see your comments and your content without following you. That's what that is. Again, I said a few minutes ago, the reason why I think Nara Smith is a girl's girl is because she came here and said, I'm sorry you have to deal with these comments. She knows that the person makes content that is about food. I can know that about you, and I can see your content without following you. Like, are we hello? Is this thing is everybody okay? Is everybody all right? Because reading is fundamental.
Because make it make sense. Somebody not telling the truth, sweetheart. Now we all know Nara Smith has become like the name brand trad wife of it all. But baby, if you are taking your content or your inspiration or whatever from a lady that lives in South Africa, from a woman that does not even get paid for her views, she only get paid from brand deals, then baby, you wrong. You wrong.
And I'm going to say she's not. I'm going to say she's not. Because if I can make content off of your content, but it's better content, that might mean that you might need to go back to the drawing board and do better with your content. If you're getting brand deals, then that means that you're lucrative in some form or fashion. But you being mad at me because I'm able to make boba tea and get more views for it than you are sounds personal. That sounds super personal to me. That does not sound like something that has anything to do with what I'm over here doing. But go off.
And if this lady is like making this up, if Wanza was making this up, I hope she's not, because it's going to mess up her reputation. But people, tell me what y'all think. Is Nara Smith a fake, or is she just taking inspiration from other people? All right, I thought I was done, but some more information popped up and I wanted to share. I found this on another creator's page. It says, do you guys remember how people were up in arms saying Wanzawa copied Nara's mozzarella cheese recipe video? Anzawa posted the video a day before Nara did. Well, Anzawa made boba tea from scratch 2 days before Nara did, and that is true. And then the girl below said, Nara posted a mozzarella video on the February the 10th, and Wanzawa posted hers on the 16th, so how can Nara be copying? And then the other girl comes back and said, Anzawa posted the video first on the 9th of February. Then she posted the video again, like her mozzarella cheese recipe, a few days later on the 16th. Baby, something is not adding up.
It's because you can't pronounce boba. That's why something's not adding up. But like, I couldn't help but to watch this and hear her tone in describing it and just think, why are you mad? Even in my discussion of this, I'm not upset. Even though I disagree with her, I'm not upset. I'm not coming up here incensed and talking all loud and crazy to y'all because of this, because it's not that serious. I can get on here and say something, and tomorrow somebody can get on here and say the exact same thing, and I can't be mad at that. Why? Because we both speak English. I think there are so many other things you could be doing with your time and energy than to be upset at something that really isn't a thing. She said maybe she means bomb ass tea. Maybe she does. Maybe that's why she keeps putting the M in there. That's possible. But while we're here, and because I'm talking about the fact that she did not say that word correctly, there's one other thing I want to address before I get out of here, because I've been here for an hour and y'all are not asking questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and log back out. But something that people have started saying, and I feel like it started maybe a few months ago, is also too. People started saying also too, and I don't understand why they don't get how redundant that is. The word also means to, in addition to, as well as, also. These are all synonymous. Same thing with hence why. When folks be like, hence why, I cringe every time. Because why are you saying why because, or because why? That's what hence means. Hence means because. And, exactly. Here's two cultural examples of that. When folks say non-bread, non is bread. So do you realize when you say non-bread, not only are you telling us that you may have only had it once or twice and you don't know any actual Indian people, but you're telling us that you don't know what non means. And it literally means bread. Chai tea was the one I was going to say next. She beat me to it. Maggie Thompson. Chai tea and non-bread, those are two things that irk my nerves every time I hear somebody say that, because chai means tea. It is literally a specific type of tea. So just think about these things. If you're going to charge somebody up and you're going to come with the smoke, at least learn how to say the things that you're trying to say first so that your argument lands succinctly. Because somebody like me is going to be listening and she's going to tune out as soon as you get redundant, because you're not that smart. What you're telling me is that you're not that smart and you didn't fully flesh out your argument. Because if you had, and even if you had spoken to someone about it, they might have clued you in on the fact that maybe you don't want to say it this way. Maybe you want to use this instead. So the next time you hear somebody saying also too, just laugh. Next time you hear somebody say chai tea, just laugh. Non-bread, just laugh. Hence why, just laugh. Because now that I've had this conversation with you, you can know that those two things mean the same thing and that somebody is in violation of redundancy. What's up, Mrs. KP Bailey? Peace be to you. And yeah, panty draws. Panty draws is another one. That's very specific though. I think there's only, that gets said by a certain demographic and generation. I think after that generation, people don't say panty draws anymore. But that is another good one, Indigo Flow. So yeah, unless anybody has a question for me, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'll give you another minute or so before I go ahead and click the end stream button. But as always, I'm going to wish you guys peace, ease, and whatever you please, because you know that that's my mantra. It's always about the peace, always about the ease, and at the end of the day, it's about whatever you please. I really appreciate you guys coming, and like Maggie Thompson says, have a fantastic day. If you haven't hit that like button yet, it's not too late. You can still hit it. Thank you so much. I'm out.